Welcome to your sleep story. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Whatever this day was, however long it felt, however much it carried, it is behind you now, completely behind you. You made it through, and that is everything. So let's begin. Before I take you anywhere tonight, I want to count you down from 10 to 1. And as I count, I want you to allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into wherever you are right now. Feel the weight of your body. Feel what is beneath you, holding you. And with each number, just let go a little more. 10. Allow your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see right now. 9. Feel your shoulders and let them drop as far as they want to go. 8. A slow breath in through the nose. 7. And all the way out. 6. Your hands. Feel them opening. Whatever you've been holding today, you can put it down now. 5. Your jaw is soft. Your face is soft. 4. Your legs are heavy, warm. 3. You're drifting, not asleep yet, but moving that way. 2. The day is behind you, completely and entirely behind you. 1. And now, tonight's sleep story, the relaxation. Before we go anywhere, I want to stay here with you for a moment. Just here, just now, because this moment, this exact moment right now, where you are lying in the quiet, deserves a little attention, a little kindness. Take a breath in for me, from the very bottom of the belly. Good, and let it go. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that everything you were carrying today, every worry, every unfinished thought, every heavy thing is just leaving with that breath, just drifting away. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are right now. A person who deserves rest, a person who deserves sleep, because you do, you really do. Whatever happened today, however hard it felt, however much it carried, you made it through. You are here, and that is enough. That is more than enough. You are safe, and you are here. Bring your awareness gently to your feet now. Just notice them and allow them to soften. The toes uncurling, the arches releasing. All the small held tension of the day simply letting go. Let that softness travel upward, through the calves, through the knees, the thighs. All of it warm, all of it heavy, all of it resting now. Your lower back, your hips. Allow yourself to feel the surface beneath you taking your weight completely, fully. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The earth has you. The hillside has you. The belly soft. The chest soft. The heart beating steadily as it always has, as it always will. Your shoulders dropping, your arms heavy and warm, your hands open and still, the neck long and loose, and your face, let the jaw go. Let the forehead smooth. Let the eyes be completely still behind their lids. There you are, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely soft, completely warm, completely at rest. You've done beautifully. Now, let me take you somewhere the fire is low, and the spinning wheel is turning, and the rain is soft against the window, and the cottage has been keeping people warm on this Welsh hillside since before anyone alive can remember. Come with me. The road. Imagine a road in Wales. In the north, perhaps, or the west. It does not matter exactly which. What matters is this: a road in Wales on an autumn evening. The kind of road that does not appear on the main maps. The kind that requires a smaller map, a more local one. The kind of road known to the people who live along it, and not known well to anyone else. Single lane, hedgerows on both sides. The hedgerows of Wales are not thin things. They are old. They are centuries old in many places. The hawthorn and the blackthorn and the hazel and the rowan that have been growing along the boundaries of fields since the land was first divided and named and claimed. Thick, dark, the last blackberries still clinging in places, small and soft now, past their best. The road, climbing, always climbing, in this part of Wales. The land here is hills, not the dramatic peaks of Snowdonia, not quite, but the long, round-shouldered hills of the middle country, the hills that are green in summer and bronze in autumn and gray-purple in winter, and that have sheep on them at every season. The sheep, white shapes on the hillside, moving slowly, as they always move. The road climbs, and ahead, where the road bends around the shoulder of the hill, a light, amber, warm, in a window. The cottage, stone. Everything in this part of Wales is stone. The cottage is built of the gray-green stone of the hillside, slate, and the harder volcanic rock that the glaciers left behind. The stone that is everywhere here, in the walls and the paths and the field boundaries, and the dry stone walls that divide the hill pastures. The cottage grew out of the hillside. That is how it looks, not placed on it, grown from it. The stone of the walls, the same stone as the ground beneath, the same color, the same texture, as if someone simply shaped what was already there into rooms. Low, long, the roof of Welsh slate, not tiles, not thatch, but the particular blue-gray of Welsh slate, each piece split by hand from the mountains to the north, and laid in overlapping rows that have kept the rain out for 160 years. The date above the door, 1863, 160 years of Welsh rain, 160 years of the wind that comes in off the Irish Sea. The cottage knows the wind. It was built to know the wind. The walls are thick, not the thin walls of a modern house, not the double-layer cavity walls of later building, but the thick, solid walls of a building constructed by people who understood that the wind here is not decorative. The walls are nearly a meter thick. They absorb the wind. They absorb the cold. They keep what is inside, inside. The door, dark blue paint, the paint faded and salt-worn, the grain of the wood coming through in places, a brass knocker in the shape of a horseshoe. You knock. Inside, the warmth, it finds you immediately, before you have even stepped fully inside. The warmth of the cottage, moving out through the open door to meet you. Not the sharp, dry warmth of central heating, something older, the warmth of the hearth fire that has been burning in this room since this morning. The warmth that lives in the walls of a cottage that has been heated this way for generations. The warmth that is the building as much as the fire. And the smell, wood smoke, the wood smoke of a peat and oak fire, slightly sweet, slightly earthy. The particular smell of the wood that grows in these valleys. The sessile oak that is native to the hillsides of Wales and Burns, with a slower, gentler flame than the harder northern timbers. And beneath the wood smoke, wool, lanolin, the warm, faintly animal, completely distinctive smell of raw wool, of fleece that has been washed, but not entirely stripped of its natural oils. The lanolin still in it, the smell of the sheep that were shorn on this hill, and whose fleece is here, in this room, in various stages of becoming something else. And beneath the wool, something baking, bara bris, perhaps the Welsh fruit bread, the bread made with dried fruit soaked in tea, the bread of every Welsh kitchen, the bread that smells of tea and dried currants, and the faint spice of mixed spice and the sweetness of the fruit, or Welsh cakes on the griddle, the warm, sweet, slightly spiced smell of Welsh cakes on the bakestone. Either way, the smell of something made with care in a warm kitchen, and the sound, before your eyes have fully adjusted. The sound, the spinning wheel, the sound. Let me tell you about the sound of a spinning wheel, because it is one of the most particular and peaceful sounds in the world, and once you have heard it properly, you do not forget it. It is not loud. It is not quiet. It is continuous. The wheel turning, the spokes passing, the hum of the drive band on the wheel's rim, the slight whoosh of air with each rotation of the spokes, and the treadle, the steady, rhythmic movement of the treadle, the foot pedal that drives the wheel, the up and down motion that is as steady as a heartbeat when the spinner is experienced, as steady as breathing. Thumpy, 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 and the flyer, the small, forked piece that rotates faster than the wheel, that twists the fiber as it is drawn through. That makes the twist that makes the thread. The hum of the flyer, the hum and the treadle and the wheel, a sound that is simultaneously mechanical and deeply organic, a sound made by a tool being operated by a person, the person's body and the tool finding a rhythm together, the rhythm that the good spinner finds that requires no thought, that becomes automatic, that the hands and feet learn so thoroughly that the mind can go somewhere else entirely, or nowhere, just here, just this, the wheel turning, the thread emerging, the sound of something being made, Marwyn. She is in the chair by the fire, the spinning wheel in front of her. Her name is Marwyn. She is 67 years old. She has been spinning wool in this cottage for 41 years. Since she married Hugh and came here from the town in the valley, and found, to her own great surprise, that this was exactly the life she had been looking for without knowing she was looking for it. She learned to spin from Hugh's mother, not from a book, not from a class, from sitting beside her, watching, then being shown, then doing it herself, badly at first, the thread uneven, breaking, the tension all wrong. Hugh's mother patient, completely patient. Marwyn struggling, and Hugh's mother not minding, not hurrying, not correcting too often, just letting her find it, the way the good teacher always lets the student find it. And one evening, she remembers the evening precisely, though it was 40 years ago. One evening, the wheel was turning, and the treadle was going, and the thread was coming, and it was right. Not perfect, but right, even, continuous. She was doing it. She was spinning. She stopped and looked at Hugh's mother, and Hugh's mother smiled. "There it is," she said. "There it is." Marwyn has been spinning ever since. She spins every evening. After supper, by the fire, the wheel turning, the thread growing, the kitchen, the cottage kitchen, low ceiling, the beams of the ceiling, oak, old, the color of dark treacle, the color that oak becomes when it has been smoked and warmed and breathed over for 160 years. Wide flagstone floor, the flags worn smooth in the paths of movement, from the door to the range, from the range to the table, from the table to the door. The paths of 160 years of meals made and eaten in this room, worn into the stone. The range, the Welsh farmhouse range, a heavy cast iron range that has been in this kitchen since the 1930s, that has been feeding this household and warming this room since before Marwyn was born. That is not going to be replaced, because there is nothing that needs replacing about it. It radiates constantly, even when nothing is cooking, the iron holding the heat from the fire inside it and releasing it slowly, steadily, into the room. The table, scrubbed pine, old, scarred with use, the marks of knives and hot pans and years of meals. The window above the sink, looking out at the hillside. Dark now, the sheep not visible, but they are there, as they always are. On the hill, in the dark, the white shapes of the Welsh mountain sheep, their thick fleece keeping them warm in the rain. On the hillside, in the weather that this hillside has always given them. The fleece, on the table by the spinning wheel. The basket of prepared fleece. Carded, the fleece from the hill sheep, Hugh's flock, the flock he has had for 20 years, the same bloodlines, the same hills. After the shearing, the fleece is skirted, the dirty edges removed, then washed, then dried, then carded the process of combing the fibers so they run parallel, so they will spin evenly. The carded fleece in the basket is called a rawleg, a soft, cylindrical preparation of fiber, like a very light, very soft, slightly irregular sausage of wool, each one rolled from the carding paddles with a particular motion that Merwin has done so many times it requires no thought. She reaches into the basket now without looking, her hand finding a rawleg. She holds it for a moment, just the weight of it in her hand. The softness, this is the fleece of sheep she knows by sight, ewes that have been on this hill for years. The gray one that always goes to the eastern boundary, the young one that stays close to her mother even now, even 2 years on. The black-faced one, not black-faced exactly, but darker than the others, whose fleece is always slightly coarser than the rest. Merwin knows which fleece is which, not just by look, by feel, by the particular quality of the fiber between her fingers. She picks up the rawleg. She drafts the end of it onto the leader. The treadle begins. The wheel turns. The process. Watch this. Watch what happens at Merwin's hands. The rawleg of carded fleece, soft and undifferentiated, a mass of fibers going nowhere in particular. Her left hand holds it, not tightly, loosely. She is controlling it without gripping it. The fingers barely touching, the fleece passing through without resistance. Her right hand draws, the drafting, the drawing out of a small number of fibers from the mass, thin enough for twist to travel through them, thin enough to become thread. This is the skill. This is the thing that cannot be fully explained in words and must be learned in the hands. The right amount of fiber, the right tension, the right speed of drawing in relation to the speed of the wheel's rotation. Too much fiber, thick, lumpy. Too little, thin, weak, breaking. Too fast, no twist, soft, useless. Too slow, over-twisted, tight, harsh. The right amount, the right tension, the right speed. Merwin finds it without thinking about it. She found it 40 years ago, and it has never left her hands. Her right hand draws. The twist travels up the drafting zone. You can see it, the slight tightening, the individual fibers becoming a thread, the thread finding its strength. The thread winds onto the bobbin. One revolution of the flyer, one small addition to the bobbin, one small length of thread that did not exist a moment ago. Again and again and again, the bobbin filling, slowly, steadily, completely. The fire in the hearth. Let me describe it. It has been burning since this morning. Morning fires are built differently from evening fires. The morning fire is a working fire, a fire for heat, built up quickly on the remains of last night's coals, fed with kindling, and then, with larger pieces, the fire that drives the range and warms the cottage for the day. The evening fire is different. The evening fire is the fire you sit with. It has been going long enough that the logs have broken down into large glowing coals, deep orange and red. The surface of each coal a moving map of heat, the color shifting as the air moves. No flames, or very small flames, just the glow that is the warmest thing in the room, and that the eye is drawn to, and drawn back to, and drawn back to again. The hearth itself, the Welsh cottage hearth, wide and deep. The stones surround, the same gray-green stone as the walls. The lintel above it, a single piece of oak, rough-hewn, the bark still on the underside of it, the wood almost as hard as iron from 2 centuries of smoke and heat. Above the lintel, the wall white with limewash. On the lintel, candles in their holders. The candlesticks that have been on this shelf for as long as anyone in this cottage can remember. The candles burning, 2 of them, their flames perfectly still. There is no draught in this room tonight. The thick walls, the heavy door, the sealed windows, the wind outside making no impression on the air inside. The candle flames, still, completely still. The flame of a candle in still air is a thing of almost mathematical perfection. Teardrop-shaped, symmetrical, burning steadily, giving its light in all directions equally. You watch it. It does not move. You breathe. The fire glows. The rain. Outside, the rain has been coming for an hour. Welsh rain, which is to say, not a dramatic rain, not a thunderstorm, not a downpour, a steady, patient, soft rain, the kind of rain that has been falling on these hills since the hills were shaped, the kind of rain that is responsible for the greenness of this landscape. The greenness so intense in the summer that visitors from drier countries find it almost implausible. This green, this deep and various and saturated green that Wales is famous for. The rain comes in off the sea, the Irish Sea to the west. It comes across the water and finds the hills and rises and cools and falls. It falls on the hill, on the sheep who do not mind, who are, in fact, equipped specifically for this rain by 40,000 years of evolving on hillsides exactly like this one. The Welsh mountain sheep, their fleece dense and slightly water-resistant, the lanolin coating the fibers, the water beating on the outer surface, the sheep underneath dry and warm. The rain falls on the slate roof of the cottage. The sound of it on slate is one of the most soothing sounds that exists in the world. Not the sound of rain on tiles, not on glass. On slate, there is a density to it, a weight, each raindrop landing on the solid stone and making a sound that is not a tap, not a splash, but something between a soft, dense, completely consistent percussion. Rain on slate, the Welsh cottage roof receiving the rain as it has received it for 160 years. HUW. Hugh is in the other room. He is sitting in the chair by the window. He is 69 years old. He is reading, or was reading, The book is open on his lap, but his eyes have closed. The fire in the sitting room, smaller than the kitchen fire, less necessary, more companionable, is warm enough, and the rain on the window is rhythmic enough, and the chair is comfortable enough, and the book was good enough that unconsciousness came quietly and without announcement, the way it comes, sometimes, at the end of a long day. He has been outside since 7 this morning. The sheep, the stone wall on the north boundary that needed repointing, the drainage ditch that needed clearing, the old gate on the upper field that needed a new hinge. The body that has done these things all day does not argue with sleep when sleep comes. His breathing is slow, the book rising and falling on his chest with each breath. Outside the window, the rain on the glass, the dark hillside, the sheep somewhere up there in the rain, dry under their fleece, entirely unbothered. The stone wall he repaired today, standing, solid, as it will stand for decades. He sleeps. What spinning is for. Merwin knows what spinning is for. Not in the obvious sense, not in the sense of thread and cloth and the practical chain of fiber to garment. She knows what it is for. For her, in an evening, by the fire, spinning is for the part of the day that comes after the doing. The morning and the afternoon are for doing. The animals, the garden in season, the cottage, the 100 small tasks of a working life on a Welsh hill farm. The evening is different. The evening is for the wheel, and what the wheel gives her is this, a way of being here without having to be anywhere else. The wheel and the treadle and the emerging thread demand just enough attention that the mind cannot wander far. The hands must be present. The rhythm must be maintained. The thread must be watched. But the attention required is not much, not the sharp, effortful attention of a difficult task, the soft attention of a practiced one, the attention that is closer to meditation than to concentration. She is here. She is in her body. She is doing one simple, continuous, rhythmic thing. And whatever the day carried, the worry about the flock in bad weather, the ache in the hip that is not going away, the letter that needs writing, the call that needs making, all of it is still there, technically, but it has moved to the background. The wheel is in the foreground. Just the wheel, just the thread, just this. She learned this from Hugh's mother, who learned it from her own mother, who did not call it meditation, who would not have used that word, but who knew, as the women who spun by firelight have always known, that the wheel steadies you, that the rhythm holds you, that there is something in the continuous making of thread that is very like the continuous making of a life, one small length at a time, one rotation of the wheel, one treadle beat, adding up to something, the history of Welsh wool. Let me tell you something about the history of this, because the spinning wheel by this fire is not an isolated thing. It is part of something very long. Wales and wool, These two things have been inseparable since the medieval period, when the Welsh wool trade was one of the most important in Britain. The fleeces of the Welsh mountain sheep, finding their way to the great cloth towns of England and Flanders and beyond, traded and valued, and woven into the cloth that clothed the medieval world. The Welsh mountain sheep, the oldest of the British hill breeds, small, hardy, their fleece not the fine, soft fleece of lowland breeds, but something more robust, the fleece of a sheep that spends its life on exposed hillsides in the rain and wind, the fleece that has been selected by generations of shepherds for resilience and weather resistance, and the ability to keep a sheep alive on a Welsh hillside in February. This wool, this particular wool, it has been processed in the valleys of Wales for centuries. The fulling mills that pounded the woven cloth, the dyeing vats, the spinning that happened in every farmhouse kitchen, women spinning by the fire. Every evening, as Merwin spins tonight, she is not the first person to sit at a wheel in this cottage. This cottage has had a spinning wheel in it, in one form or another, since the year it was built. 160 years of spinning. In this room, by this fire, the wheel Merwin uses was made in the 1890s. It came with the cottage, stored in the barn, neglected. Its drive band perished, its flyer bearing stiff, its finish worn away. Merwin found it, her second winter here. She carried it inside. She took it apart. She cleaned every piece. She replaced what needed replacing. She reassembled it. She sat down. She began, the wheel turning again, after years of silence. The bobbin, the first bobbin, is nearly full. Merwin can see it filling, the pale thread building up in even layers on the wooden bobbin, each layer slightly different from the last as the thread winds first to one end and then back. A full bobbin, 50 or 60 grams of spun single, a single one strand of spun thread, spun from one roving or raw leg, twisted in one direction. It will be plied the joining of two singles, twisted together in the opposite direction, to make a balanced two-ply yarn that will not twist on itself, that will knit or weave evenly, that is stronger than either single on its own. The metaphor is not lost on her. Two twisted together, stronger than either alone. She smiles. 41 years. She takes the full bobbin off the flyer. She puts an empty one on. She ties the leader on. She reaches into the basket. Another raw leg. She begins. The wheel turns. The sound continues. The fire glows. A deeper LISTNING. Stop for a moment. Just listen. The sounds of this cottage right now. The wheel, the steady hum of the drive band, the rhythm of the treadle, the whisper of the thread, the fire, the slow breath of coal settling, the occasional small sound of a piece of wood shifting and resettling as it burns down, the rain, on the slate roof, on the window glass, in the gutters, on the hillside. The clock on the mantelpiece, a small clock, brass, old, the kind of clock that ticks audibly. Tick, 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 the small, steady sound of time being kept. And Hugh, from the other room, his breathing, slow, the breathing of a man fast asleep in a comfortable chair. And the sheep, not a sound from them. They are too far away, up the hill in the rain. But they are there. And knowing they are there is a kind of sound, a presence. The hill alive with its quiet, grazing, rain-darkened inhabitants. All of these sounds together. This is the soundscape of the Welsh hillside cottage on a rainy autumn evening. This is what peace sounds like. Not silence, never silence. Peace sounds like this. A fire, a wheel, the rain, a clock, a person breathing, and underneath it all, the hill, the ancient, round-shouldered, green and dark, and patient hill. The wool basket. Let me describe the basket. It is wicker, old wicker, the osiers woven so many years ago that the willow has gone from pale gold to deep brown. The weave tight and close, the rim reinforced with a heavier piece wrapped in a spiral. The basket belonged to Hugh's grandmother. It sat in this room in Hugh's grandmother's time, and in his mother's time, and now in Merwin's time. Inside it, the raw legs, 6 of them, soft, white, not the brilliant white of processed commercial wool, but the off-white of clean but unbleached fleece, the white that has a little warmth in it, a little cream, the white of the animal itself. Some spinners dye the fleece before spinning. Some dye the finished yarn. Some dye the finished cloth. Merwin sometimes dyes. She grows her own dye plants in the garden below the cottage, welled for yellow, wode for blue. Madder in a pot in the south-facing corner, because madder needs more warmth than Wales reliably provides. She has mordanted and simmered, and dipped and rinsed and dried. She knows what color the hillside plants will give. She knows the range of greens that come from onion skins and nettles. She knows the soft pink of weld, over-mordanted with copper. But tonight, the wool in the basket is undyed. The natural color, the color the sheep grew on the hill, which is perfect, which is enough. The view from the window. In the morning, come back to the morning for a moment. In the morning, when the mist has lifted, and the mist here lifts slowly, pulling back from the valley floor first, then drawing up the hillside like a curtain being slowly raised. In the morning, the view from the kitchen window is extraordinary. The hill, in the morning light, green, bracken going bronze and orange in the autumn. A whole hillside of orange bracken against the green grass, the color so warm and saturated in the low morning sun that it seems to glow. The stone walls, crossing the hillside in gray lines, some of them very old, 1,000 years old in places, the walls that defined the field systems of the medieval Welsh farmers, the walls that have been repaired and rebuilt and added to, but that follow the same lines, hold the same land as they always have. The sheep, white dots on the hillside, moving slowly, always moving slowly. The sky, the Welsh sky, enormous, because the hills here are not so high that they close it in. The sky coming all the way down to the horizon in every direction. And on a clear morning, the sea, just visible, a sliver of blue at the far edge of the western view. The Irish Sea, the sea that sends the rain, that has always sent the rain, that fills the wells and the streams and the reservoirs, and makes this land as green as it is. The sea distantly glinting, the hill bracken bright, the sheep, the walls, and the cottage sitting in the middle of it, stone gray and ancient and completely at home. The tea, Merwin stops, not because she is tired of spinning. She stops because it is time for tea. She knows when it is time for tea without looking at the clock. She has an accurate sense of when approximately 8:30 has arrived in the evening. The particular quality of the tiredness in her eyes, the drop in the fire, the way the cottage feels around 10 in the night when the evening is settling. She sets the raw leg back in the basket. She slows the wheel. She rises. Her knees, the knees that have been getting stiffer these last few years. She does not complain about them. She simply acknowledges them. Good evening, knees. She goes to the range. The kettle is on the back. It has been warming there all evening. Not boiling, not quite, but very close to boiling. Because the range maintains a steady heat that keeps the back of it at just this temperature, she takes the teapot, the brown teapot, the teapot that was Hugh's mother's, and before that some earlier person's, a good, functional, plain brown ceramic teapot of no particular distinction, except that it makes excellent tea and has been in this kitchen for as long as anyone can say. The tea, Welsh tea, is strong, not delicate, not the pale, barely colored tea of people who do not particularly want to taste the tea. Strong, the color of dark amber, the smell of it rising from the pot, the tannin warmth of good strong tea, the steam carrying it outward in the kitchen, the milk from the jug, a splash. She carries the cup to the chair. She sits. She wraps her hands around it. The warmth of the cup, the warmth passing into her hands. She breathes. She is not spinning. She is just here. The fire, the rain, the wheel still, the clock, the cup in her hands, the steam rising. This is enough. This is everything. MAIRWEN's evening. The full picture. Let me see the full picture of this evening. Merwin in her chair, the wheel in front of her, the fire to her left, the window to her right, the rain on the glass, the dark hillside behind it, the basket of raw legs, the cup of tea, the clock ticking, Hugh in the other room, sleeping, the cottage holding everything, the stone walls thick, patient, absorbing the rain and the wind without effort, giving back warmth. The slate roof receiving the rain, letting it run away, keeping the inside dry. The hearth, the oldest part of the cottage, the first thing built when the first person laid the first stone here in 1863. The thing around which everything else was arranged. The fire that is not Merwin's fire. It is the cottage's fire. The fire that has been in this hearth in one form or another since 1863. The fire that Merwin maintains the way Farouk maintains the furnace, with attention, with care, with the understanding that the fire is not a luxury, but a necessity, not a comfort, but a responsibility. You tend the fire keeps you warm. This is the agreement between people and fire, since the first fire, since the earliest humans huddled around the first controlled flame on the first cold night. The agreement is still being honored in this cottage, on this hillside, on this evening, the fire glowing, Merwin tending it, the language. There is one more thing, something about this cottage that you might not know. Merwin speaks Welsh. This is not a small thing. In this part of Wales, the rural west and north, the heartland Welsh is not merely a heritage language, a thing learned for sentiment or duty. It is the language of the daily life, the language of the kitchen and the farm and the chapel, the language in which the weather is discussed, and the sheep, and the state of the wall, and what to have for supper. She thinks in Welsh. She dreams in Welsh. When she talks to Hugh, on the hillside, in the kitchen, in the easy half sentences of a long marriage, it is in Welsh. When she counts the rows of her knitting, when she sings, sometimes under her breath, by the fire. Welsh, the language itself, is ancient, one of the oldest living languages in Europe, descending from the Brythonic Celtic languages spoken across Britain before the Romans, before the Anglo-Saxons, before the Normans. A direct line from the people who first walled these fields and named these hills, to Merwin, sitting by this fire, spinning the names of the hills around this cottage, old Welsh names, names that mean something, descriptions of the hill's shape or its color, or something that happened there in a story so old it has been forgotten. The hill to the north, gray stone, the valley to the west, the valley of the stream, the old name for this cottage itself, House of the Spinner, House of the Spinner, as if it was always going to be this, as if the name waited for her. The yarn at the end of the evening, 3 bobbins, 3 full bobbins of spun single. Tomorrow or the day after she will ply them, 2 of the 3 singles together, spun in the opposite direction from the original spin, the 2 threads finding each other and twisting into a balanced 2-ply. And then the skein, the finished yarn wound off the bobbin onto the niddy-noddy, the simple 2-armed tool that Merwin holds and turns as the yarn winds around it, counting the loops, knowing the yardage, the skein removed, tied in 4 places, washed, hung to dry, and then what does this yarn become? Perhaps a jumper, the kind of jumper that a person in a cold climate has always needed. Substantial, warm, the lanolin still in the fiber, giving it a slight water resistance, the twist of the ply giving it structure, the weight of the wool keeping the wearer warm even when it is damp, or a blanket, or a pair of socks, the kind of socks that a person who spends their days on a Welsh hillside in the rain has been wearing since there were people on hillsides and sheep on hills. The yarn carries the hill. This is not nothing. The fleece grew on this hill, in this rain, fed by this grass. When it becomes a jumper and someone wears it, they carry something of this hill with them. The rain, the green, the particular resilience of the Welsh mountain sheep who grew it, all of it going with the yarn into the world. Sleep begins. You have been here for a while now, in this cottage, by this fire. You have heard the wheel. You have felt the warmth. You have breathed the smell of the wool and the peat smoke and the rain on the cold window. You have watched Merwin's hands. You have been in this room. And now something is happening. The way sleep approaches in a warm room by a fire. Not suddenly, gradually, the edges of the room softening, the fire still glowing, the rain still on the window, the wheel still. Merwin has set it still. She has finished for the evening. The bobbin's full. She is sitting, just sitting, her hands in her lap, her tea finished, her eyes going soft at the edges. She is not asleep, not quite, but she is on the threshold that is the most comfortable place there is. Not fully here, not fully gone, just drifting, and you are drifting with her. The fire, the rain, the cottage holding you both. Mairw's night. She will go to bed soon. She always goes to bed at 10, or shortly after. She will go upstairs, the low staircase, the steps worn in the middle, each step a slightly different height from the last, in the way of old staircases built by hand without templates. The bedroom, low ceiling, the window looking out at the hill. In the morning, the first thing she sees is the hill, the bracken, the sheep, the sky above the ridgeline. Tonight she will sleep. The rain on the window will not wake her. She has been sleeping to this sound for 41 years. The rain is not a disturbance. The rain is a companion. She lies down. The weight of the blankets, wool blankets, made from the fleeces of these hills, made here or in the valley mill, warm and heavy. The weight of them on the body, like an embrace. She closes her eyes. The wheel downstairs. Still, the fire downstairs. Glowing. The clock on the mantelpiece. Ticking. The rain on the roof. Continuous. The sheep on the hill. Warm under their fleece. All of it holding. as it always holds. She breathes. She sleeps. The cottage, 18 night. The cottage at night. After Merwin has gone up. After Hugh has woken in his chair, found his book on the floor, smiled to himself, and climbed the stairs. After the candles have been pinched out, after the fire has been banked, the coals covered with ash to hold the heat through the night, the fire not extinguished, but sleeping, the way the cottage itself is sleeping. The cottage at night, dark but not cold, the walls holding the day's warmth, the banked fire holding its own warmth, the slate roof receiving the rain, the sound of the rain on the roof, in the dark, continuous, the clock still ticking, the wheel still, its spokes catching no light, because there is no light to catch. But it is there, the wheel that has been in this room since the 1890s, the wheel that turned in Hugh's grandmother's evenings, and his mother's evenings, and Merwin's evenings, the wheel that will turn tomorrow, the bobbins full, waiting, the basket of raw legs, waiting, the wool and the fire, and the rain, and the clock, and the wheel, all of it here, all of it waiting for the morning, for the next skein, for the next evening, for the next turning of the wheel. You are sleeping. You are not in the cottage anymore. Your body is wherever your body is, in your bed, in your home, in the quiet of your own night. But something of the cottage is with you. The warmth of the fire, the sound of the wheel, even now, even in the silence. You might hear it if you listen. The hum of the drive band, the steady treadle, the smell of the wood smoke, and the wool and the tea, the rain on the slate, the weight of a wool blanket, all of it carrying forward into this moment, into your sleep. Your body has been tended tonight, not in the way of the hammam, not with heat and water, in this way, in the way of warmth and sound, and a fire, and a patient craft, and a cottage on a hill that has been doing this, simply being warm and solid, and holding the people inside it for 160 years. You are held tonight by the hill, by the rain, by the wheel that turned, and the thread that grew, and the fire that glowed, and the woman who sat beside it in the evening, quietly making something, quietly being here. You are held. Let go. You can let go completely, breath by breath, the warmth spreading, the muscles soft, the mind quiet, and still as a spinning wheel at rest. The last things, the wheel is still, the bobbins are full, the basket is beside it, the fire is banked, the clock is ticking, the candles are out, the rain is on the roof, the rain is always on the roof, the sheep are on the hill, the sheep are always on the hill. Hugh is asleep, dreaming of the flock on a sunny morning, the bracken gold, the sky clear, the sea visible at the edge of the world. Merwin is asleep. Her hands are still in sleep, the hands that know the rawleg by feel, that know the tension of the thread, that have been making this this simple, ancient, continuous thing for 41 years. The wool is on the bobbin. Tomorrow it will be plied. The next day it will be skeined. The day after it will be washed and dried. And then it will become something warm, something that carries the hill, the thread connecting this room to the world, as thread always has, as it always will. The cottage is on the hill, as it has always been, as it will always be. Stone does not hurry. Stone waits. Stone holds. The hill is behind the cottage, and the cottage is behind the fire, and the fire is behind the warmth, and the warmth is behind everything good about this room. The wheel in the dark, patient, still, the rain on the slate, patient, continuous. The wheel is still. The bobbins are full. The fire is banked, orange in the dark. The coals are breathing. The candles are out. The clock is ticking. The rain is on the roof. The rain is on the window. The rain is on the hill. The sheep are on the hill. The sheep are always on the hill. The bracken is bronze. The walls are gray-green stone. The walls are a meter thick. The walls hold everything. Hugh is sleeping. Merwin is sleeping. The basket of raw eggs is beside the wheel. The raw eggs are soft, the color of cream, the color of the sheep that grew them. The tea things are washed. The range is warm. The beams are dark treacle. The floor is worn in the paths of 160 years of meals. The cottage has been here since 1863. 1863. 160 years. The rain on the roof of 1863. The same rain, the same slate, the same sound. You are safe. You are warm. You are held in the cottage, on the hill, in Wales, in the autumn. The wheel will turn tomorrow. The thread will grow tomorrow, one small length at a time, one rotation of the wheel, one treadle beat, adding up to something. It always adds up to something. Your breaths are adding up to something. One breath, and another, each one carrying you deeper, into the warmth, into the dark, into the sleep you deserve. The wheel is still. The hill is patient. The rain is continuous. And you are already there. Good night, dear friend. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. Good night and